Good morning, everybody. We are back home. I know I've done a video since I've been home, a little tournament recap, but today's gonna be like the first vlog since I've been home. Got a few things to do today. Not gonna be a crazy eventful day. Probably not gonna be able to get on the water today, but I will be preparing to go fishing tomorrow. So I gotta go take my tower, drop it off in town to Dustin's, where you also want to pick it up on the first vlog. Get it powder coated, get those bars straightened out, get that handled. I go back to my parents' house. I'm gonna do a tackle review, explain what we were throwing during the tournament, and then I'm gonna probably, if I have enough time, get all my gear ready for tomorrow's bass tournament and do a tackle prep freshwater edition. So we're gonna do a few things today. It's not gonna be a crazy day, but it'll be a little eventful. So I don't know how much we're gonna be able to get done, but we'll see. Alright, got a little bit of good news. I just got a text from the apartment saying that my package has arrived. I was nervous that it wasn't going to come in time for tomorrow's bass tournament. That'll be one hint. Second, it is coming from Minn Kota. You can guess what it is. It's coming from Minn Kota, and it will be helpful for bass fishing tomorrow. That's all I have to say. So, I've been trying to fish without one of these for a while, and it's hard bass fishing. So, I got it in the mail. It's in. I'm going to install it tomorrow. I will show myself putting that on tomorrow. That's good. It'll give me something to do. So I'll put it on tomorrow on the boat. I'll get some tackle ready for tomorrow's bass tournament. Clean the boat up. It is filthy. So that will be that. But it is in. That's good. So, alright. Here's the plan. Once I get all of this out of the back of my truck, I should be able to fit all of this in that big 6.5 foot tower. It should fit in there, I'm hoping. It is a pretty big thing, and my truck bed is not. So that Crew Max life, I got like a 5 3/4 foot bed. So clear all this crap out. I don't care if it hangs out the back end. We're gonna go drag this thing down to Dustin's and get him to powder coat that bad boy. Straighten out those little rails that bent. Looking for this, I lost it. Alright, that actually went a lot smoother than I thought it was going to. I actually thought it was going to take a lot more effort and a lot more time. It actually fits in there a lot better than I thought it would. You kind of gotta, I don't know if you can see, I had to like tilt it so those arms would go underneath that edge, but it actually fits really nicely in the back of the truck. Of course, can't close the top or the tailgate, but you know, it's better than having to hook up the boat to the truck, drive across town in traffic with the boat, and having the tower laying in the boat, and then get the tower out of the boat. This is pretty simple. So luckily, I was able to figure it out, and had to just take all my crap out of the back of my truck. But we made it work, so it's time to go drop this off at Dustin's. Close the gate up. Try not to get my camera soaked or myself. Nice. Okay, now I have water all over me from the sprinkler. That's good. But Stella, girl, it's all right. I'm right here. There's old Charles. Get her, buddy. He's about 14. She's 2. Huge difference. But he still gets her. He'll give her a run for her money. He don't put up with her nonsense, I promise. Alright, got the tower dropped off. Slightly out of breath. Had to carry it like 50 yards. And that tower is not too light. It's actually not that heavy, it's just cumbersome. It's hard to get a good grip on it and hold it in a comfortable position. Now it's time to head back to their house. I'm gonna go over what tackle we used in Louisiana to get another top 10 finish. I'm going to try and clean the boat and maybe do a little bit of tackle prep for bass. Might do all that tomorrow. I don't know. We'll just see. Tomorrow might be the bass tackle prep day. We gotta see how much time we got. I gotta meet somebody at 2. One of my grandma's friends. I gotta move some furniture for her. As promised, I'm going to go over the tackle we used to catch our redfish in the Elite Redfish Series tournament in Louisiana. And this is actually the exact line, rod, reel, everything. This is exactly what we threw. Like, I didn't even take this off. I haven't cut this off. This came straight out of the truck, out of the rod sleeve, and here we are. So, we have a bunch of different setups we throw over there. A lot of times I end up just throwing 1 or 2 rods, sometimes 3. I'll throw a spinning rod or whatever. But due to the circumstance of this tournament, I literally, this was what they were keying in on. I threw this one setup the entire time of the tournament. I threw this rod only. I made like 3 casts with a spinning rod. That was it. One time I saw a fish real far away. I was trying to reach him. Then my dad caught 1 or 2 fish on a gold spoon, and that was it. The rest of it came on this rig right here. This is the Z-Man Easy Shrimp, natural color, kind of a pinkish white, on a weedless eye jig head. This is a 3/16. Will it focus? 3/16 ounce, and you can see this weed guard's kind of a little bent on here, but it's still holding up. This caught a pile of fish. 3/16 ounce weedless eye jig head with a chartreuse eye on the Easy Shrimps. And this is what they were keying in on. I usually don't throw a shrimp in Louisiana. I usually throw a crawl or a paddle tail, because a lot of times the fish are sitting still. You can paddle it by them and you'll get a reaction bite. For some reason, these fish weren't really reacting. You had to throw it out in front of them, either just hop it in front of them real slow or almost dead stick it, and when they came up to investigate it, just give it a drag. Just move it, and they would eat it. And this was perfect because there was a lot of grass. We were making casts into thick grass so it wouldn't make a lot of noise when it hit the water. Pull it out of the grass and drop it in front of the fish. You can't do that with a bare hook, a normal jig head. You just can't do it. With this we could, and it was making a difference because our fish got really spooky toward the end of the day. And if you would just throw it and it splashed in the water, even this little 3/16 ounce jig head, if it splashed next to them, it would spook them off. So we'd have to make a cast past them, either sometimes past the grass and drag it through the floating grass and drop it right in front of them, or sometimes we'd have to make it land in grass, or sometimes even up on the bank and drag it off. And we were getting out clean because that weedless eye jig head. And to go along with that, we were throwing it on 6'8" medium heavy almond green rod with a Concept Z reel. And like I said on the first video, for our sight casting setups, the 6'8" rods, I pair them with the 8.1:1 gear ratio reel. And that is, whenever we can release some of the footage we got, and whenever you watch it on TV, we don't always make a perfect cast first time. Sometimes you gotta crank it back in and get back out. And that is where that 8.1:1 gear ratio reel comes in. And another huge factor to this is that Concept Z. 0 ball bearings. This thing casts a mile. We're able to throw that little light shrimp on that little light jig head really far and make some long casts at these fish. To go along with it, we got 50-pound High Seas Grand Slam braid, a whole spool of it. And I have the drag locked down on this reel. Okay, this line is locked. This 6'8" medium heavy rod, 22 pounds of max drag in this reel, locked down. This hook is a stout hook, and this line wasn't given. The fish were given. You got to pull them out of some real thick grass. My dad was throwing a spoon. One of the good fish we caught on day 1 came on a spoon. My dad had the same rod and reel set up. He locked the drag down on the reel and drug this big 8-pound redfish through a pile of floating wet grass and got him in the boat and got him in the net. Bent the hook open on the spoon. They will bend the hook open. So you have to be super careful with that much drag. And that's something I don't think a lot of guys are used to having to deal with yet, is having that much drag in a little tiny, light, compact bait caster like that to be able to lock it down and straighten the hook out on a spoon. So this was the setup. This is what we were using. 6'8", medium heavy, 13 fishing, Owen grade rod, Concept Z, 8.1:1 gear ratio reel, 50 pounds, High Seas Grand Slam braid, eye striped weedless eye jig head, 3/16 ounce with a chartreuse eye, and the Z-Man Easy Shrimps. This is the natural color. This is what was doing it. This is what they were keying in on. You'll get to watch it on TV on the Discovery Channel. Us throwing them. On day one, I was throwing it on a different hook, more of like an inline hook. That was working on day one. They were floating more. Day two, they were down on the bottom, so we had to switch to a jig head. But most of our fish came on this setup right here. This was the only rod and reel I caught a fish on the entire time. Not even a similar one with a different bait color on it. This one rod and reel right here was held in my hand and put a pile of fish in the boat. So this is my sight casting go-to setup. Is this rod, this reel, this line. The bait will change depending on the location, but this was the bait that was working over there in Grand Isle for the Elite. It's 82 degrees. Well, be danged. Didn't get quite everything we needed to do today done, but that's alright because we have time for it tomorrow. Luckily, tomorrow is kind of going to be a lazy day. I always make sure I got nothing going on Tuesdays for the bass tournament, so I have all day to get everything ready and just get the boat ready and everything. Bass fishing to me is kind of like my time to relax. Red fishing is very stressful for me because we're fishing tournaments or I'm guiding. It's business. I don't get to mess around and cut up in business very much. Sometimes I get to go out and fish for fun, but the problem is when I go fun fishing, let's say I don't find any fish, then I'm worried like, man, if I had a client call me up and wanted to go fishing in the morning, I'm not on any good fish right now. So to me, bass fishing is where I can have fun. It's easier on your equipment. It's just a different style of fishing, but it's not a whole different style of fishing. So I don't have to go buy a whole bunch of different equipment. I can use a lot of my same gear. And it just gets it's a change of pace for me. And I get to go unwind and catch bass. And if we catch a limit and win, good bass, cool. I just had fun and I made $400 or $500. If we go out there and stink it up, then it's alright. What, I lose $25 in a little tournament and burn 5 gallons of gas, but I got to enjoy, you know, relaxing afternoon on the water. It's worth it for me. So I enjoy getting the boat ready, getting my tackle ready, doing everything in preparation for bass tournaments. It's the first one of the year. Like I said, it is not any size bass tournament. It is about as small of a bass tournament as you can get, but you can come out with $500 or so and have a good time doing it. So I really enjoy it. So tomorrow will be all bass prep, bass tournament, getting ready for it. Maybe a little footage on the water in the bass tournament if we do any good. Why am I so dark? There we go. Wow, y'all been in the dark this whole time. Anyway, so tomorrow will be getting everything ready for the bass tournament. Tackle prep, getting the boat ready. I got the batteries on charge right now. Getting line, spooling up reels, tying everything on, going through what I'm throwing, why I'm throwing it, all that kind of deal. Tomorrow will be a bass fishing vlog, and that just gets me excited right now. Like, I am just grinning because I love bass fishing. So got busy today, had to call, make some phone calls, some business calls. Ended up spent about 45 minutes on the phone today, more than I wanted to. I'm heading right now back to my apartment to get my package from Minn Kota, and I'm gonna unbox the package. We're going to take a look at that. We'll do an unboxing. Our first unboxing on this channel will be done in about 2 minutes. My apartment has this really cool thing in the mailroom. If no one's here to pick up a package, then you can do this number, or you don't have to have anyone here to pick up a package. You can do this number right here. Hit a sign, just do something like that. It comes open, and you got mail. So you don't have to worry. Take a lot longer than I thought. You know what? I'm gonna give you a 5-star experience. Done. Cool. Anyway, you don't have to have anyone. You don't have to stress about people not being here. Oh, I got one meal. And it's Bill. Anyway. That ended up being a cluster because I couldn't open the door Random lady came in while I was filming, talking to myself. She looked at me like I was crazy. Kinda am. Anyway. Alright. I don't know how else to set this camera up. So we're doing it like this. On the rug, in the living room. Got the old bench made out. And we're gonna open it up. Hopefully it's the right thing. It seems way too light. So I really hope it's the right thing. Got some of this really cool stuff right here. This is it. This is the correct thing. So foot pedal for the Tarova trolling motor. So I now understand why the bass guys have foot control trolling motors. I get it now. I used to think, yeah, that's a little silly. I got the iPilot, or I got the little lanyard around my neck. Don't ever have a problem. Just point the direction you want, hit autopilot, and that's it. Well, where the lake we fish here has a lot of stumps and a lot of grass. And it's a pain in the butt when you have to stop reeling to reach down for your lanyard, change it, because there's stumps everywhere and you're weaving around through stumps. How does this work? Oh. A little noise in there. Get your speed. Anyway, it's a little annoying whenever you're having to change directions all the time because there's a stump in front of you and you have to stop reeling, reach down for your remote, and then now your buzz bait's down in the grass or your swim bait's down in the grass, and this grass is super thick. So this will be a lifesaver. Y'all can go ahead and make fun of me, but I'm probably definitely going to have to make sure I read the instruction on this because I'm not a big foot control trolling motor guy. I know this plugs in. I have a little cord hanging out the back of my thing. That will plug right into that. I know that much. Obviously, is this right? Left? I think it's left, that's right. Could be wrong. Here's your speed. I know that much. This is my speed. I'm probably going to leave it like right there on 3. So there's your speed. Anchor mode. I got that. I know that much. Right, left. Can I just not use this and just stay on this? I don't know. I'm assuming that's on off. Is that on off? I don't know. I think that could be on off. That? I know that's autopilot. I don't know what con is. What is con? We're gonna read. We're gonna look up on this. Instruction time. I got little, I think these little feet that go on the bottom keep them sliding around the deck. I appreciate that. Let's see. Autopilot button. Right there. I knew that much. That is autopilot. Okay. I knew that much. That is spot lock. Right there. So that is spot lock. I was correct on that as well. I mean, that's pretty serious. There's pretty simple anchor there. Toggle spot lock on and off. I think I figured out that much. Service. Oh, that's all it tells us. There's no way. There's no way that's all it tells us. What does con mean? What is con? Constant. Oh, there we go. The constant button is located left side of the foot pedal. Alright, so it says the constant means that, like, if I have that on, it'll light up there green for constant. It'll just stay on 3. I think I can hit exactly prop on and off. So I can have it on constant if I'm just going along, and then I can hit that if I want to stop the propeller, and I can just steer. So this is left and right, like I said, but that's like for quick little taps. Like, oh, I just want to mop it to the left, just tap on it. What does this button do? So I don't know what this does. Okay, that's a momentary button. So that's just a little gas. That's just, oh, I want a little bit of gas. Just tap on that. That's just a little bit of gas right there. That's constant. So I'm just going to be cruising along at normal speed. Have that on. That lights up. Done. I want to turn it off. Step on that. If I'm just drifting and I see a stump, I can push down, go to the right, hit that, and give her a little fuel. Oh, I somehow missed this diagram. That would have told me everything. So, yeah, it's pretty straightforward. It's going to take a little bit of getting used to, but this will be a lifesaver. out at Deer Point. I think that's going to be it for today's vlog, everybody. Like I said, it wasn't a super eventful vlog. Hopefully y'all liked it. If you did, give this video a thumbs up. Always remember to subscribe. And apparently there's like a little bell you have to turn on. You click that bell, that'll let you know that I posted a video. You don't have to look on Instagram or Facebook to see that my new video's up. So turn the bell on, subscribe, like this video. Like I said, tomorrow's video will be a good video, and stay tuned for that one. Thanks for watching, and bye.